comes from inside his own 5. Three tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. Turning it on. Makes it past the marker. Inside the 40. Past the 30. He's at the 10. He is in. Touchdown, Rutgers.
And as a coach, you're just hoping your offense can take the field on the first series of the game and create a little bit of momentum, get into a rhythm. How about that running play? Hitting a home run early in this game. You know that's got the sidelines all juiced up.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. That one's going to get a little star marked beside it on the play sheet. One play, explosive, touchdown, just like that. Let's see what he can do with the return. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Looking for room, it's Beebe. Picks up the first down. Still on his feet at the 45. Oh, look out on the right. The 10. Gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line. He was fighting for that end zone.
If I'm the offensive coordinator, I am finding more ways to get this guy the football. I feel like he is just a home run waiting to happen. We saw it in his last game when he had over 100 rushing yards. He's almost at the 100-yard mark now.
The huge explosive play put him right on the doorstep, and now they've got to punch it in. They'll run it in the red zone. It's Richard. And he breaks the play. Touchdown, Indiana!
And you talk about wasting no time. That's what this offense just did. First play, explosive play. Second play, ready to rock and roll. 2-play drive. It's exactly what they drew up over there on the sidelines, Palmer.
And they did a great job of getting down to the goal line and getting set quick to go run that play, right? After the long play, the call came in. Everybody got lined up. They were wasting no time. Defense completely on their heels. They don't know what just hit them.
Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Scarlet Knights start this drive. The offense looks ready to go. Then that last drive, if you want to call it that, was efficient. One big... Oh, he's got some space. He just broke the century mark. 100 yards on the ground, and he has his eyes fixed on leading the nation in rushing.
And that last run was just a nice job seeing the hole, exploding through it. He has had a heck of a night. Now with that carry, over 100 yards on the game. That's the mark you really want to hit as a running back, and he's got that here tonight.
And that will be incomplete. Man, that would have been a big hitter if they could have done it, but second down coming. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
Man, these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide...
Here's a little room there. Smashes ahead. He's at the 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights. Once he got a step, it was all over, right to the house. This defense not only searching for answers, they're still searching for that running back.
And searching for angles. My goodness, this dude, he runs so fast, he erases angles. People trying to catch him, they didn't realize how much burners he had. He kicked it in gear, and there was no getting him.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Offense all set and ready to crank things up. This feels like one of those games you might have to answer every score. Already down 14-7. Gets it across the 30 to the 31. A pickup of 5. The margin for error so small in a conference like this, and in Big Ten play, really imperative to get off to a good start.
You really focus on all offseason getting off to such a great start, right? Start fast. Win our conference. Well, this is step one. And so I think you're so tired of hitting your own color jerseys, by the way. You're excited when you get in conference plays. You start to get some of that familiarity, some of that also that hatred that you have for these other teams. So the Big Ten is a fun conference.
Yeah, and you know both of these teams, their players have had this game circled all offseason because this is the first one. This is the first step towards winning a Big Ten championship. Both teams feel like they've got the playmakers to compete in conference this year, but it all starts today.
And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
Faced with a 3rd and short from their own 32 to keep this drive alive. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down. And the Hoosiers will try to pin them back with the punt. The snap to the up end, they'll fake it. He's not going to get there, and they'll turn it over on downs. The fake doesn't work.
And obviously you're trying to catch him off guard, but it didn't work. I'm not a fan of fake punts. I'd rather put my offense on the field, and guys that do this for a living all the time are really good at it, but tried to sneak attack, and it did not work.
Here comes the Rutgers offense onto the field. The early scripts have worked trying to add to this 14-7 lead. Gonna run it. It's Raymond. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
You definitely want to commit to the run game. You want to establish the run game. You want the defense to honor it. But if it doesn't work a little later down the road, you might think about airing that puppy out.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to fire. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. Slides to the ground. He got away and picked up the 1st down on a 2nd and long.
Hey, listen, it's important at that position to be able to be good off schedule. Everything's easy when it's on time. You get the ball out. But when things break down and they get off schedule, you've got to have a guy back there that can make the right decisions. He did exactly that.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Go.
Back to pass. Hauls it in. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights. Timing and better execution, that is just what a quarterback and wide receiver need.
And it's timing, it's route running, right? You got to be precise. You got to know exactly what yard you're running to. The quarterback, receiver on the same page. That's why you get the touchdown.
On the move from inside his 5. He's got great speed. Got a little room. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. He is a field-flipping machine. Take it on one end, return it to the other.
And now you get to celebrate. What a beautiful job. We always talk about defense. We always talk about offense. But, man, when your special teams come through for you and score, it is huge, and it provides such a boost for the crowd.
And he made that extra point. The wet turf, no problem at all. What a return that one was. 95 yards. He took it back for 6. He'll bring it out from inside his own 10. Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. The run inside. It's Raymond. Breaks into the open. The 40. The 30. Past the 10. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, State University of New Jersey. That is his 3rd score of the game, and now 14 on the season.
Love the play call offensively. They knew the defense were crowding a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage, and once they were able to get to the 2nd level, all they had to do was make one guy miss and get one good angle. And with the speed that ball carrier has, man, that thing was a sure shot touchdown.
Returner will field it and try to get some field position. Tackled and brought down at the 16-yard line after the return. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Running inside. It's Beebe. Picks his way ahead, pick up of 3, and gets it to the 20-yard line.
And here's what you know about Indiana football. They're going to be physical. They're going to be so well coached and disciplined, and they're going to run the football. It was the key ingredient to helping Fernando Mendoza win a Heisman, like the ability to RPO off of it. So, Palmer, I don't know who the names are going to be throughout the season, but I know they're going to run downhill, no nonsense, and they'll have a guy that they'll hitch their wagons.
Yeah, everybody talking about losing Mendoza, but Black and Henry were a big part of that thing, too. I think the offensive line, though, was key to it all. Anytime you have 2 1,000-yard rushers, it's because the guys up front are pushing people around, and that was the secret sauce to Indiana's Cinderella run a year ago. So up front, these guys have to continue to dominate. They'll reload the backfield through the some stops, the big fellas pushing people around. That's going to be the key for them on offense.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Looking to throw, it's Hoover. Somehow got the screen into that traffic. No siree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one. The defenses have some work to do to slow down these high-powered attacks as we start the second quarter. The Hoosiers will punt this one away. First one of the day is off. He was called on 3 times in that victory last week. Hauls it in at the 25. Slips through the line. The coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Rutgers has it back. They'll send the offense back onto the field. After that last explosive running play, David, why not just try it again, right?
I mean, why not? Such a big, long, explosive run. You think, Jesse, maybe give it to him again? Or do you say, hey, keep it. Throw that thing out there.
I think you keep it on the ground, David. Honestly, I was watching the offensive line. They were fired up after that long touchdown run. You know they just want to go back out there again and get some push.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to fire. That's reeled in. It's Duff. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
And when you run these drag routes, it's super important that your quarterback can really use his eyes. Don't lock in where everybody's going to start looking at you and seeing what's coming. Does a good job, drops back, sees it, and the most important part, puts the ball out in front so he can catch it, get upfield, and make some extra yards after the catch.
Now they've moved it just inside the 40. 1st and 10 from the 39. On the run, it's Raymond. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
And winning first downs is a priority for a defense, and you can't get bludgeoned. You can't get physically beat at the point of attack. You know the percentages. It's usually pretty good on first down that they're going to run the football. So them getting that big chunk, getting in 2nd and short, not a good job by this defense.
Got 8 on first down, now looking at a 2nd and 2. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Nowhere to go. Same song, second verse, as this defense is ready for this guy.
Well, the defense blitzed on that last run, but it was the big fella on the inside that made the stop and made the play. Great job flying out of his stance, locating where the football was, and getting to the ball carrier. Really good job at the point of attack.
Ball at the 31, 3rd and short coming, defense trying to rise up. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line.
And it's a good job by this defense, man. They got him in 3rd and short, but, man, they've got to do a better job. If they want to get back in this football game, like, they've got to force some field goals. They've got to force some punts. They've got to force something to go their way, and they've got to be better on 3rd down.
Off the play fake on first down to throw. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
Really need to pick up some yardage this time on 2nd and long. The offense changing the play. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. That's caught. It's Raymond. He gets across the 20 and finally out of bounds at the 19. They're in the red zone. They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy is better than yours. Find the matchup across the field. Running back's got some speed. Get it in his hands quickly. Throw it to him fast. Let him make somebody miss against a slower guy that's usually a linebacker.
Here comes the heat. And the missed connection on third down.
And this offense put together a really good drive, man. Like, that was a good drive, but third down in the red zone when the field starts to shrink, they really struggle to try to find.
Oh, and he got a hand on it. It's blocked.
You never know how weather affects the kick, and the rain's coming down, obviously, but the field goal unit does a great job getting penetration, getting back deep in the backfield, and then blocking the kick for the big momentum shift.
Indiana comes out ready to get this drive underway. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Got a man. It's shot. Breaks free, and he might be gone. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
And obviously, huge shoes to fill if you're Indiana's offense this season, having to replace a Heisman Trophy winner in Fernando Mendoza, David. It's not going to be easy. And obviously, you go to the portal and you try to bring the next guy in. But honestly, when you look at Indiana's quarterback play, it goes even beyond Fernando Mendoza to Curtis Rourke. The year before that, they have been so consistent at this position as of late.
Yeah, and I think with Indiana proving who they are now as a program, like, if you come here as a quarterback, you're going to have success. You're going to take a leap, a Fernando Mendoza type leap, right? Like, where he was a good player, he became a great player. So people are going to continue to line up to play in a smart, efficient offense where you're going to have a lot of success. And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little bit.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Beebe. Oh, what a move to get open. And he's able to shed one tackle, but still just a very short gain.
And a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Looking for a man. It's Hoover. Throws to the wideout. A strike downfield. Goes down immediately, but that's just what they needed. It'll be a first down.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
The run inside. It's Beebe. He's stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. On the draw, it's Richard. The draw draws nothing except a swarm of tacklers. He's stopped immediately. Now the Scarlet Knights call timeout. It's their first. The Brain Trust getting thoughts together for this big 3rd down coming up. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Under fire. It's picked off, and that's number 10. Brought down at the 17 as he brought it all the way back inside the 20 after the pick. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. They'll move the wide receiver. They needed to find enough space and get it moving forward, and they're up to the 22. After the 4-yard completion on first down, now it's 2nd and 6. Back to pass. Throws to the tight end. Snagged in the middle. It's Blake. Gets it inside the 40, brought down at the 39, and they can't stop the clock. The Scarlet Knights headed quickly to the line. Running inside. It's Raymond. Got enough for the first. And he found plenty of running room on that one before the defense was finally able to get him down. Rutgers takes its second timeout. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. And the Scarlet Knights have it with a 1st and 10. Motion from the wideout. To the air on 1st down. Caught in the backfield. It's Duff. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup. The Scarlet Knights can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. He misses his man. The accuracy just not what it needed to be on that play.
And that is not where you want to miss. You do not want to miss high over the middle. A lot of that times that turns into an interception. He doesn't get that, but he's got to lower that football and give his receiver a chance to make a play on it.
Defense trying to come up with a stop on 3rd and short from the 37. Looking to throw. Under fire. And they got it. The Hoosiers take their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before the half. And the Scarlet Knights will line up to punt it away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Gets it out of the air for the first time today, and didn't see much of him in that loss a week ago. Called on just once. This late in the half, here's the question. How aggressive will the play calling be? To the air, it's Hoover. Throwing right. It's caught. Gets it down to the 33. They pick up the first down. Got to use their time wisely. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking to throw on 1st down. Rushes on him. And down he goes. And they head to the locker room. 2 quarters in the books, and time for us now to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football studio with scores from around the country.
Fellas, we are beginning to see a little separation in the standings. The Week 5 edition of our update show. Let's get things popping with Maryland taking on the number 13 team, the Michigan Wolverines. And it's the Terrapins, able to pull off the upset in this one, but by the narrowest of margins. And with that W, they get back above 500, 3-2 now on the season. Here now a look at some other games of note today, including a big upset with major implications.
Indiana has the ball back, and the Hoosier offense comes out ready to go. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the 3rd quarter.
Down 2 possessions, the coaching staff met in at halftime, and they've probably scripted this opening drive. Just like they do at the start of the game, they've now got an idea of what plays they feel most confident in, what plays their quarterback is seeing the best to go out here and execute a score.
Well, and it's nice to get the ball first. Like, I got the first opportunity to close the gap a little bit, apply some great game pressure to these guys. So I think getting the ball first, driving down, scoring right here would be huge.
Gets the nose of the ball to the 25, giving 1.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive, trailing by multiple possessions. possessions, and it's getting late. Scanning the field, it's Hoover. Finds his man in the middle. Now they'll really try to get this drive going. Good execution on third down as they have it 1st and 10 at the 31. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
It has not been a banner performance so far by this offense. Here in the second half, they need more plays like that. That's a good sign. But you got to be able to put those plays back to back now. Really nice job early in the drive, coming up with a big one in your own end. But now you've got to be able to string some of those along now and score some more points.
After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
And if this offense is going to get back in the football game, those are the plays they have to make. Like, they have to make contested catches. They got to find a way to get some points, to create some explosive plays. Those 50-50 balls, when you get your hand on it, man, they got to start making those plays.
Always a welcome play for the defense as they get a sack at the 47.
You have to imagine the game plan in the second half. Being down, I got to come out and throw the football successfully, but how about this offensive line? They don't do their job. They don't protect their guy, and the defense setting the tone right out the gate.
Punt is in the air. He came so close to pinning them deep, but maybe just a little too greedy. Tried to get it too close, and it'll come out to the 20. And the Rutgers offense heads back onto the field. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Raymond. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Well, this guy's been eating them alive all game long. Finally, though, David, you wonder if the defense has been able to make some adjustments, find something positive to help slow this guy down.
Hey, baby steps, right? That's a tackle for a loss. I know he's got over a hundo on the game, but this defense is definitely going to have to be more aggressive, commit more guys to stopping that bad man.
Looking deep. And that's going to be incomplete, going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
Got to give this defense credit, man. They've been so good in the back end in coverage. They basically gave nothing away in the 1st half, and here they are in the 2nd half defending a deep ball.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the right. Got him downfield. He's into plus territory, knocked out of bounds after the nice game, mark it at the 47.
Man, we knew coming into this game just how explosive this offense could be, and a big part of that is their ability to throw the football. They've scored a ton of points, and it's because they can generate plays like that. When this quarterback sees the one-on-one matchup he wants, he is not afraid to pull the trigger, and he hits a big throw there.
The Scarlet Knights come to the line with a new set of downs. Looks as if he's going to run it. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
And it's not sexy, and it's not these long plays all the time. But this QB does such a good job of picking up 4 to 5 and making it where you're always ahead of the sticks and just letting you know, we'll run it. We'll take advantage of this guy's speed, and we're going to make you defend him throughout this football game.
And the Scarlet Knights come to the line trying to find a way to convert on 3rd and very short. They'll try to power their way ahead. How about that for pursuit. They stop him right at the line of scrimmage, bringing up fourth down.
And what a fantastic job by the defense there. Third and short, and they're expecting the run. They're able to penetrate, crease the O-line, get into the backfield, and make a big stop, now setting up fourth down.
Trying to get it to the marker. He's got enough for the first down, and they roll the dice and convert to keep this drive going.
And in these situations, you're never looked at poorly, right? You can go for these situations because it's a really long field goal, so it's not a guaranteed make, or I can be aggressive offensively, and I like the choice. Be aggressive, get the first down. Nice job by the offense.
He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. Third and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. Moving out to the right. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man on the right. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
You got to love the physicality up front by the defense there, allowing only a minimal gain. These are big bodies on the D-line. They eat up blocks, allow the linebackers to run free and make stops.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Motion from the wide receiver. Second down, they'll go to the air. Grab behind the line. It's Benjamin. Touchdown, Rutgers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. How efficient have they been as they extend this lead here in Week 5?
And you got to love seeing that if you're the head coach of this team, right? You always want to see your team start fast early in games and then also start fast at the beginning of the third quarter. You had a big lead. You take the ball right away here in the second half. You drive it down the field, and you score. This offense has been dialed in right from the get-go. It's been very impressive to watch.
From the gun, he'll try to throw. Right on the money. He's brought down, and that one never had a chance, and the two-point conversion attempt fails. And he takes this from inside the 5. And now the ball is knocked free. It's recovered by the kicking team, and they'll steal a possession.
Kick returners usually have to have that home run ability, the ability to take it to the house 100-plus yards. But it's also a tough skill because you've got all these guys flying down the field so fast, and sometimes you get a big hit and ball security becomes an issue.
The Scarlet Knights start this drive. The offense looks ready to go. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback?
Might have a chance. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5.
You know, the RPO game now in college football really puts the defense in a bind. And it forces them just to freeze a half second as they try to distinguish between the running back and the quarterback. Who's keeping the football? On that play, it was the running back, and he made him pay.
A first down run in the red zone. Touchdown, Rutgers! And the punishment has been extended. On to attempt to try. The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They didn't have a whole lot of real estate in front of them when they took over possession, but they wasted no time. Couple of plays into the end zone. He'll bring it out. It's Morris. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. The run inside. It's Beebe. And they'll drag him down. That's likely the last play of the third quarter. We've come to the break, and Rutgers is holding the lead. A quick pause here to look at the numbers as they are threatening to pull away in this game. One more quarter to play, and it might be unlikely, but hey, it's college football. Comebacks happen. So the final period starts with a second down play. Rides to the back. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
And just a great job by the defense being stout. All right, that's your job. Be stout up front, stuff in the run play, make them get in more passing situations, but do not let them run the football. That's 101. Stop the run first.
Back to throw, it's Hoover. Fires to the big fella. He'll have the first down as he gets it to the 28-yard line before he's stopped.
Well, it's a nice job by the tight end there. He's patient. He fights his way through all the traffic in the middle of the field, running that drag route, making it an easy completion for the quarterback.
And the Hoosiers will snap it on 1st and 10. Maybe a crease. Good, solid pickup on that one. They've got it out to the 40, and it's first down.
And, man, this is more of the same for this dude toting the pill. Like, they keep giving it to him, and he keeps producing. Another chunk play. Like, I don't expect that they'll change much to do with this offense because every time they give it to him, he's chewing up some yards, and good things are happening.
The Hoosiers are moving quickly down the field. To the ground, he's got it again. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
They'll send the tight end in motion. Running inside. It's Richard. Powers through the defender.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
In the dead center of the field as they try to convert this third and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. There he goes. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
How nice is it as a play caller when you've got a running back as good as this guy, right? I mean, you can just dial up conservative run calls. Nothing has to be too tricky, too fancy. You just know he's going to go make good things happen. Even when it's not blocked properly, he is still finding ways to rip off long runs. This guy now has over 150 yards rushing in the game. Doesn't look like he's slowing down, guys.
And this defense is more than happy with the offense running the football. They've done a great job today. I mean, they've really made this offense work so hard, earn everything they've gotten, and that's why this lead is ballooned like it has.
There's a crease. Got enough for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Really put an offensive possession together here that's fun to watch. Like, it's fun to watch them own the line of scrimmage, be physical. In this area of the field, this is what they call the fringe, right outside the red zone. It's kind of your last opportunity to take shots, take advantage of the extended space on the field before you get cramped in the red zone. So I look for this offense to be aggressive.
Well, the interesting thing about a run here trailing late is the defense isn't expecting it. That's the good news. Bad news, though, is you're still trailing. You need to score quickly, which means you need to be throwing the football right now.
fires to the wideout. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game.
Let's see what they've dialed up on 3rd and long from the 22. Looking down the middle. Intercepted for the 11th time. Takes it the other way. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there.
The number one objective for a defense is to make the offense one-dimensional. Well, when they're trailing by this much late in the game, they're one-dimensional. They have to pass the football. We can bring more speed on the field. You see it. We know you're throwing the football. Nice break on the football. Nice interception. This one's almost over.
Running out the clock seems to be a mere formality here as they are ready to snap it in victory formation. It's really the most common type of upset we see every year. The home field advantage is so
Good win, fellas. Good fucking win.
They love to play spoil.
Yes, and what needed to happen happened in this football game. Something good to happen early to get the belief and to get this crowd involved. And when the crowd gets involved, Jesse, it changes the game. And I think it had a lot to do with the outcome today.
I agree. I'll tell you,
Or
regardless whether this team is ranked or unranked, when their home crowd is like they were today, they're tough to beat, period. And you know